Hey, welcome back. Dan, before we went to break, I mentioned that we're going to be using mascarpone cheese in this dish right here, right?
Yes, we are.
What is mascarpone cheese?
Well, mascarpone cheese is an Italian cream cheese, or at least that's what they call it on the labels, an Italian cream cheese. It is an uncooked fresh cheese, so again, it's no pasteurization in there. It just goes from the milk and with enzymes and then right into the container, and it just kind of ages on its own. So it's a little firmer than a creme fraiche, but a little softer than a cream cheese, in my opinion. So it blends really well with the recipe we're going to do here today.
Yeah, I see a lot of things being made, especially desserts with mascarpone cheese.
Yeah, tiramisu is huge. I mean, that happens to be one of our biggest selling items during the Christmas holiday.
See cheesecakes with it all the time too,
all
don't
the
you?
time, sure do, yeah.
So how are we integrating this mascarpone cheese into our dessert?
Okay, Steve, what we're going to do is we're going to take the lemon curd that we have, which is, again, we got it off of our shelf here, and basically lemon curd is simply lemons, lemon zest, sugar, and what was the last ingredient?
Eggs.
Eggs, that's right. And that's what makes up this lemon curd. And again, you could, a lot of people have their own recipes for this. This is just one that's
What
already
is this dish called?
It's a torte. It's a mascarpone lemon kiwi torte.
Sounds really good.
It really is.
Sounds springy and summery, doesn't it?
Springy and summery, and with Easter being next week, this would be a great dessert item for Easter.
So you're just going to mix this lemon curd
with equal parts of lemon curd with equal parts of mascarpone.
And that's going to serve as our filling. And then while you're mixing this, I want to take this opportunity to mention our website, cookinwithkroger.com. That's where you can learn more about the show, check out info on Dan, and find these 3 great cheese recipes that we've made today. Plus, please let us know your favorite dish from the show and share your comments, and you never know, I might read them on the air. That'll get you entered to win the $100 Kroger shopping spree. So check it out, cookinwithkroger.com. And while I'm doing that, I do want to have a few comments that I'd like to read. The first one is from Christy Bennett, and she says, this show was one of the best parts of every other Sunday morning. Great ideas for meals for the week, too. Keep the great recipes coming. Thank you, Christy. And I want to read one more, and that is from Bonnie Tate. Love your show and the recipes that are simple to follow. Thanks for letting viewers know where most of the recipe ingredients are located at Kroger. Makes shopping easier. Love the comments. Keep them coming. Thanks, Bonnie. All right, big boy, you got that thing mixed up yet?
Yeah, my arm is tired from this. This is probably better in a mixer, but I've been doing it with a whisk and making quite a bit of a mess.
That's okay.
What you want to do is you want to bring this to the consistency of almost like a whipped cream. So
looks like a softened butter, too,
really
almost.
Is a softened butter, yeah, it really is, Steve. And then the 2 flavors combined are just amazing. They really are. All right, the next step we want to do here is we just let that sit for a minute. These are our shortcake shells that we get off of our grocery shelf in our stores, and a lot of times right now with strawberry season coming up, you'll find a whole big display of these.
You'll find them everywhere.
Produce everywhere.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. So, we're really coming down to the end of what we want to do here, but I do want to just take our kiwi and just cut off the bottom and the top just to give me a base to work with. And then I'm going to go ahead and just follow down the side of the kiwi just to peel it.
Love that color. It's a spring color, isn't it?
It really is. It really is. And it just adds so much to the flavor. You got lemon, you got kiwi, and we're going to add some berries. Just got lots of flavors going on with the mascarpone, which is a sweetened cream cheese anyway.
You just have to slice them down just like that. Those little seeds start to pop out in there, don't they?
Yep.
And you've got some really right here that you've already cut, haven't you?
I really have, Steve. I've been prepared. Trying to be prepared.
Okay, so you're ready to put this thing together.
Basically, that's all we're going to do now is we're going to assemble this with what we have left here. So let's go ahead and plate those shortcakes out.
Put 2 of them on here, one for me, one for you. How about that?
That's what I was hoping you were going to do. Now, I've kind of, again, sheeted a little bit. Now, you see what we've got. We've got this in the consistency here. You can go ahead and put that into a pastry bag and then go ahead and pipe it on the shells. If you don't have a pastry bag, you could also use a Ziploc.
Yeah, I think I use those more at home instead of messing up a pastry bag.
Right. So, and again, the same principle as what you would have with a Ziploc bag.
And what do you just cut off that end there with a knife or a pair of scissors or something, right?
Something like that.
All right.
And just kind of twist it around and fold it into the top of the shortcake.
Beautiful. I'm liking that. Don't be shy with that.
No, I'm sorry. You're right. It's for me and you.
There you go.
There we go. Put a little there.
All right. And then we're just about finishing up here, aren't we?
Steve, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to add the kiwis to it.
There you go.
There you go.
Gosh, that's popping.
It is. And it's just, again, just think of all the different flavors and the fruits and everything that are in this dish right here.
We so underutilize kiwi a lot of times because it's just a pain to get into, but it's a really good fruit.
It really
it's a good
is.
source of potassium, too.
It is.
Yeah.
Now, the last ingredient that we're going to add here, which you mentioned to me earlier, was that berries and lemon are really naturally...
They go together.
Going south.
They're,
you know what? Let's not
they're
be
friends.
Shy. Let's not be shy. Let's go ahead and put on lots of berries here, and let's really dress this up nicely.
And you know, I was talking to you a little bit earlier about how we set our cheese shops in Kroger, you know, and how they're segregated into different areas and sections. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I'd love to, Steve. You know, what do we try to do is we try to make this, our cheese sets customer friendly. So what we try to do is we used to do things by country in the past. That was kind of a nice way to do it. But I think people now are identifying things by very specific things in their menu. We do have an Italian section right now. That's created just for that. So you have Italian cheeses, and we have some fresh mozzarella. We just have some really amazing cheeses with some of our Italian meats together.
Some hard cheeses.
Some hard cheeses and so on as well, yes. And then we combine that with our Dutch and Swiss style cheeses. And the reason we categorize those is it's referred to as our cooking section. So if there's a recipe that you've gotten off the TV or some cooking show like this show, as a matter of fact, you're going to find the item in that section, usually between the Italian and Dutch and Swiss style. Okay. The next section we have is what we call our topping cheeses. And that's going to be your blues, your goats, and your feta cheeses. And again, thinking about those are applied to the top of something, or into a salad, or to a steak, or to a burger, whatever it might happen to be.
We've got about 30 more seconds, so if you can just
and we've
give
got
us a
our cheddar section, which we refer to as our snacking section for less informal gatherings, tailgate parties. And then we close out with our entertainment section. That's where we have our French-style cheeses and, more upscale cheeses as well.
That's my favorite section right there,
Right in there. It's mine as well. So, again, and then, of course, we've got salsas, and probably the best variety of salsas and hummuses in the area.
Yes.
So a lot of varieties of that in that cheese shop as well. So
Outstanding,
hopefully it's a destination center for every customer who comes in our store.
Awesome. Well, this dessert, it's awesome, man.
It is awesome.
I love it. I love it.
I know.
Thank you very much.
Can we eat?
Yeah, it's about time to eat.
It is. Okay.
We have to take a small break, but when we come back, we're putting this all together and wrapping it up as Cookin' with Kroger returns. Don't go away.